Hello, dear listener. Breathe deeply with me for a moment. Just one full and conscious breath. This simple act, a single intentional breath, may seem so small, almost insignificant, and yet, within this simplicity lies an extraordinary transformative power when practiced with consistency and presence. It's about this power, the power of microhabits to nurture your mental health, that we're going to talk about today. Not about grand revolutions or dramatic changes, but about the gentle small steps that, when taken daily, lead us to surprising places. The wisdom of the water drop. There's an ancient story about a drop of water that falls, day after day, in the same spot on a stone. At first, it seems to have no effect at all. The stone remains unchanged. But over time, after thousands of drops, a small depression forms. Eventually, the gentle persistence of the water completely transforms the stone. Our brain and our mental health work in a similar way. Small daily practices, so subtle they might seem almost imperceptible in the moment, gradually create new neural pathways, transform emotional patterns, and renew our relationship with ourselves. The beauty of microhabits lies in their accessibility. They don't require large blocks of time, special resources, or perfect circumstances. They're available to all of us, no matter how busy or challenging our life may be. Understanding the science of microhabits. Behind the simplicity of microhabits, there's a fascinating science. When we perform an action repeatedly, we create and strengthen specific neural connections in the brain. It's like forging a path through a forest. The first crossings may be difficult, but each passage makes the path more defined and easier to follow. Microhabits work so well because they bypass the brain's natural resistance to change. When an action is small enough, so small it seems almost ridiculously easy, our brain doesn't activate the defense mechanisms that typically arise when we face big changes. 3 fundamental principles make microhabits especially powerful for mental health. The law of starting small. The smaller and more accessible the habit, the greater the chance of doing it consistently, even on the most challenging days. The power of frequency. A microhabit practiced daily creates more significant neural changes than a big action done occasionally. The compound effect. Small consistent actions don't just add up, they multiply, creating exponential effects over time. Creating your first microhabits. Let's explore how you can start incorporating microhabits that nurture your mental health. The secret lies in simplicity and connection to your everyday life. The anchor principle. One of the most effective ways to establish a new microhabit is to tie it to something you already do regularly, what psychologists call an anchor. The formula is simple. After I existing habit, I will new microhabit. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will take 3 deep breaths. After I turn on the coffee maker, I will stretch my arms upward for 30 seconds. After I sit in the car, I will mentally name one thing I'm grateful for before starting the engine. These anchors turn routine activities into natural reminders, eliminating the need to rely solely on memory or willpower. The principle of minimum ease. To create a sustainable microhabit, start with a version so small it'd be almost impossible not to do it. If your goal is to meditate daily, don't start with 20 minutes. Start with a single conscious breath. If you want to practice gratitude, don't commit to writing an elaborate journal. Start by noting one thing you're grateful for while waiting for the tea water to heat up. This approach may seem so modest that you wonder if it will really have any effect. But remember, we're planting seeds that, with consistent nurturing, will grow naturally. Microhabits for different dimensions of mental health. Let's explore specific microhabits you can incorporate into different areas of your mental health. Feel free to adapt any of these suggestions to fit your life more perfectly. To cultivate calm and presence. The 3-3-6 breath, 3 times a day when transitioning between activities like getting up from a chair, before a meal, or entering a new environment. Breathe consciously. Inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. Just 3 breathing cycles, no more than 60 seconds total. The window moment. Once a day, stop for 30 seconds in front of a window. Observe the sky, the trees, the movement of people, or any visible natural element. Just observe, without analysis or judgment. This brief moment of observation interrupts the brain's doing mode and activates the being mode. The naming pause. During moments of stress, take a micropause to name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. This simple mindfulness exercise reorients your brain to the present moment, interrupting anxiety cycles. To strengthen emotional resilience, the victory log. Before bed, write down or mentally note 3 small victories from your day. They can be tiny achievements, moments of kindness, or obstacles overcome. This microhabit trains your brain to notice the positive, countering our natural bias toward the negative. The even so practice. When facing a difficulty, add the words "even so" to your experience. I'm tired, even so I'll smile at the supermarket cashier. This project is challenging, even so I'm taking a small step forward. This practice cultivates psychological flexibility, the ability to persist even when circumstances are tough. The inner hug. When you notice difficult emotions arising, place a hand over your heart for just 30 seconds. This simple touch activates the parasympathetic nervous system and releases feel-good hormones like oxytocin. It's a form of physical self-care that can be practiced discreetly almost anywhere. To nurture meaningful connections. Conscious contact. Once a day, when interacting with someone, a colleague, family member, or even the barista making your coffee, practice total presence for 30 seconds. Truly look at the person, listen with full attention, respond with genuine interest. This microhabit strengthens our capacity for authentic connection. The appreciation message. Weekly, send a short message to someone in your life expressing something specific you appreciate about them. It can be as simple as, "I remembered how your laugh lights up the room. Grateful to have you in my life." The internal check-in. Before social encounters that might be draining, do a brief check-in with yourself. How am I feeling? What do I need right now? This microhabit cultivates self-awareness and helps set healthy boundaries in relationships. To stimulate mental clarity and creativity. The curiosity challenge. Daily, ask yourself an interesting question about something ordinary you wouldn't normally notice. What if trees grew downward instead of upward? What would this object remind me of if I saw it for the first time? This microhabit activates different parts of the brain and disrupts habitual thought patterns. The perspective shift. Once a day, intentionally change your physical position when working on something challenging. Stand up if you're sitting, move to another room, or simply look out the window. This literal physical shift often catalyzes a mental perspective shift. The scribble moment. Keep a small notebook handy and dedicate 30 seconds a day to drawing or scribbling freely, without judgment or purpose. This brief nonverbal expression activates different parts of the brain and offers a break from analytical thinking. Navigating common obstacles. The beauty of microhabits is that they're designed to minimize obstacles. Yet, we still encounter challenges when trying to incorporate them into our lives. Let's address the most common ones. Forgetting. Forgetting is the most common obstacle to new habits. Some helpful strategies. Environmental reminders. Place small visual cues in the spaces where you'll practice your microhabits. A tiny colored sticker on your toothbrush can remind you to take 3 deep breaths. Habit stacking. As we mentioned, tying new microhabits to existing routines is one of the most effective ways to remember them. Minimal celebrations. After completing your microhabit, give yourself a small celebration, a smile, a silent yes, or a little victory wiggle. This positive response helps your brain remember and value the practice. Unrealistic expectations. Paradoxically, one of the biggest obstacles to microhabits is expecting too much, too soon. Practice patience. Remember that microhabits work like compound interest. The significant benefits show up over time, not immediately. Value consistency over intensity. Celebrate the fact that you practiced your microhabit, even minimally, rather than worrying if it was enough. Allow natural evolution. Often, A consistent microhabit will naturally expand when you're ready. That single breath might turn into 5 minutes of meditation, but there's no need to force that evolution. Difficult days. There will be days when even the smallest habit feels challenging. For those moments, the reduction rule, when needed, scale your microhabit down even further. If 3 conscious breaths feel like too much, do 1. The goal is to maintain continuity, not perfection. Practice self-compassion. On days when you forget or skip your microhabit, offer yourself the same kindness you'd offer a dear friend. Guilt and self-criticism only create additional resistance. Restart without drama. If you miss a few days or weeks, simply start again without making it a big event. The ability to return to the habit without self-criticism is itself a valuable mental health skill. Incremental transformation, small changes, big impacts. As you incorporate micro-habits into your day, something remarkable begins to happen. Beyond the direct benefits of each small practice, you're cultivating a transformative mindset. The understanding that you have the power to intentionally shape your mental and emotional states. This is a profound form of self-empowerment. Instead of feeling at the mercy of moods, external circumstances, or old patterns, you start to recognize your ability to actively influence your inner experience. Over time, these small repeated acts don't just change what you do, they change who you are. As the philosopher Aristotle observed, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. An invitation to start now. As we conclude our time together, I'd like to offer a simple invitation. Choose one microhabit from this script that resonates with you. Just one. Something so small and simple it seems almost trivial. Decide when and where you'll practice it. To what existing habit can you anchor it? How will you remind yourself? And then start. Not tomorrow or Monday or the beginning of next month. Right now with a single minimal action. Breathe deeply with me one more time. This conscious breath, this moment of presence, might be the first step in a journey of small practices that, over time, quietly transform the contours of your inner life. Remember, it's not the occasional heroic actions, but the small consistent acts of care that gradually renew our mind, calm our heart, and reveal the profound capacity for transformation that has always existed within us. I'm here, walking gently by your side on this journey of small steps and big transformations. One microhabit at a time.